So my name is Chuma Mbambo-Lado. I am from Erasmus University Rotterdam, and we work in partnership with the city of Katowice alongside 7 other European cities on an Interreg European project that is interested in learning a bit more about how do we mitigate climate change and how do we implement climate adaptation strategies, but most importantly, how do we do this inclusively? So how do we make sure that the most vulnerable people to climate change and the most vulnerable people in our societies are not left behind when we plan about climate approaches, when we distribute resources, and also how can we make our processes more inclusive to really recognize the different people in our society that need to be taken into consideration when planning for climate approaches. Well, the main thing that we really want to share is some of the approaches that we use when we come to think about how we become more inclusive in our approaches. The first most important thing is, of course, recognizing that climate change isn't just an environmental issue. The impact of it has a very social embedded impact. So how does it impact people's lives, their livelihoods, how they work, how they go to work every day? It really, if you look at the climate events all around the world, it really impacts people's day-to-day lives. So it's really starting to think about not looking at it as just an environmental issue, but looking across all the different disciplines, looking across all the municipal departments and getting everyone to work together to come up with more holistic and insightful approaches to dealing with this issue. I think it challenges the way that we look at climate change. It challenges everyone to, first of all, the citizens to be more active, whether it be in greening initiatives in our cities, to know a little bit more about policies, what it means for you, how you can reach out to your government or the community leaders to be more active. But it also challenges people in positions like in government and in our municipalities to reach out also to communities and how to include the most marginalized voices better as well. In the project, we use a very interesting methodology which we call the transferability matrix. And the transferability matrix, first of all, acknowledges that, first of all, the climate conditions in all these cities are extremely different, and therefore the approaches for implementing these will be different in all of them. But the transferability matrix kind of breaks down each approach that's used in each city to identify the key ingredients that make them workable in other places, that could be adaptable or implementable in other cities as well, but in a more realistic term that adapts to each city's different contexts. Well, I'm actually in Silesia for the first time for this, but we have worked with the city of Katowice for a couple of months now, and I do have a bit of an appreciation of the type of challenges that the city faces, especially trying to move from a post-industrial city into one that's trying to be greener and more inclusive in the way that it does things. So I do have an appreciation about what it takes to basically transform in that way. And we're very excited through this program to share using especially peers and other cities that are close to Katowice, like Tallinn, to see what they could learn from each other through this process. I think it's definitely important to continuously have these conversations, especially in universities where you have young people, you have knowledgeable people that are going to be drivers of implementing solutions and coming up with innovative solutions in the future. It's an absolute necessary conversation to continuously have, but most importantly to really share about what's working and what's not and how we can continuously improve in making sure that we're ready for the changes that are about to come in the world.